Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pottinger.
So nice, so nice. Today we worked on 1.1, Chapter 1, Lesson 1, Integers. And you now all should be able to do what? What can you now do? Can somebody tell me what you now can do? Mary, can you tell me?
I can identify, compare, and order.
Can you all identify integers?
Yes.
Can you compare integers?
Yes.
And can you order integers?
Yes.
So the I can statement is what we should be able to do after the lesson is over. The main idea that we started off with was vocabulary, and we will traditionally always start off with vocabulary. I am not going to read to you each vocabulary word in the definition. That's not the point of the video. The video is for you to see the notes and to quickly go through the notes. So we did integers, we did positive numbers, and we did negative numbers. I would say this is one of your biggest vocab words of the year. You have to know what an integer is, period. Okay? And you can read that for yourself. The cheat sheet idea, the thing that we would take to a final test, if we could take one thing from this main idea, is that opposite numbers are the same except for one has a negative sign. So if I'm talking about the number 7, everyone tell me what is the opposite of 7?
-7.
What is the opposite of negative 2?
-2.
Okay, let me try that again. What is the opposite of negative 2?
2.
So one has a negative, one does not. We then went down to reading integers. And reading integers means you are basically taking a numerical sentence like letter A there, a loss of 40, and you're writing the number equivalent to what a loss of 40 means. Loss means you went backwards, and traditionally backwards involves a negative sign, right? A gain means you go forward, and that usually involves a positive sign. But when you write like a gain of 15, and you write the number 15, do you just write 15, or do you write plus 15? Usually if it's a positive number, you write 15. It would not be wrong to write plus 15, but you would be writing a lot of pluses since normally we work in the positive. We normally work in the positive. So that would be a lot of writing that. Our summary, not our summary, but our cheat sheet idea is a gain is positive, a loss is negative. Yes, no?
Yes.
Moving down to number 3, we worked with inequalities, and we talked about inequalities being something that my last year 6th graders weren't very good at, and understanding the inequality symbols right here is super important. We're not going to work much with this one or this one, but we are going to work with greater than and less than. And what we said is that when you're talking about greater than and less than, the wider side or the open part of the mouth always eats the bigger number, right?
Yes.
So if you look at number 7 down here, 7a, this means 1 is less than 3, right?
Yes.
And we know that the inequality's mouth is going to eat the number that is bigger, which in this case is 3. If you have the number 6 and the number -4, the inequality is going to eat the bigger number. Okay, so we read this as 6 is greater than -4. Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. Moving down to absolute value. Absolute value is the distance a number is from what number? Absolute value, Needy, is the distance a number is from what number?
0.
0. Excellent job. So I love the cheat sheet idea for this one. You can see that we gave you some examples, and we talked about the symbol for absolute value being 2 parallel lines and then a number between it, like example number 10. So 3 is how far from 0, you guys?
3.
And I think it was Isaac who said, Isaac and Allison's group, they said, if the number is positive, don't do anything when you're dealing with absolute values. If the number is negative, you simply drop the negative sign. So if you look at number 11, it's -3. We drop the negative sign. The absolute value of -3 is 3. Last thing we did was ordering integers. When you order integers, you go from what to what? Who can tell me? When you order integers, you go from what to what?
Least to greatest.
Least to greatest, smallest to biggest. Excellent job. And 14 and 15 give you a couple of examples with 15 dealing with algebra. Any questions or any last minute comments before we stop?